California, Ms. Chu, to inquire.
Secretary Becerra, it's so wonderful to have you back with the committee today, and always a pleasure to see a fellow Southern Californian. As California's Attorney General, you led an amicus brief to defend the human rights of children in immigration detention as established by the Flores Settlement Agreement. After visiting one of these unlicensed facilities in 2019, put together under the last administration, I was horrified and introduced the Shut Down Child Prison Camps Act to ensure no federal money would be allocated to emergency influx shelters that don't comply with Flores standards, which prevent children from being held in inhumane conditions. How will you ensure all policies related to the care and custody of unaccompanied minors are compliant with these standards, and that these standards are the minimum to which children will be treated by your department?
Congressman, thank you for your work on this. Great to see you and to continue to work with you now in this position. And I think if you've had a chance to visit some of the sites that we have stood up, you'll see that not only do we care about following the law, but we treat these kids as what they are, children, and we're going to provide them with the health and safety that is expected. It is not easy. It is a challenge. It is not inexpensive, but we believe we have an obligation to do it right. You know, there are a couple of sites there local to you in Long Beach and in Pomona. And if you have a chance to see those sites, you'll see something very, very interesting. In Long Beach, we were told, this was about a month ago when I was there, some 70,000 toys and gifts had been donated by folks in the community in Southern California for these kids. Obviously, we don't have 70,000 kids in the Long Beach site. That made it possible for us to be able to send some of those toys, new books to other children throughout the country where we have these sites. And so I think we look at this very, very importantly as something that we need to do because these are kids.
Thank you. And I did visit the Pomona site, and it was very, very impressive and so different from the last administrations. Secretary Becerra, thank you, and President Biden for offering a budget without the harmful and discriminatory Hyde Amendment. I also want to thank you for highlighting the importance of the Title X Family Planning Program in your testimony. After years of President Trump's harmful domestic gag rule, I believe we have to swiftly implement the new Biden administration rule once finalized to bring providers back into the program and provide quality family planning care to their patients. So can you discuss how you plan to rebuild this program as soon as possible, including by administering the additional funding that Congress provided Title X providers in the American Rescue Plan? How can we in Congress be helpful to you in this effort to ensure that more low-income Americans have access to this vital and successful program?
Congresswoman, as you know, Title X is one of the crucial programs to make sure that we provide access to care to many families that otherwise would go without it. And so we intend to try to move as quickly as we can to provide access to family planning services, which, by the way, are not just services for women. Men, children receive services through the Title X funding that's provided at the federal level. In California, as you know, we rely on a lot of our third parties to help make those programs work. And what we're going to do is work as closely as we can to make sure that, according to the law, we're providing services under Title X to anyone who needs those family planning services up front.
Thank you. And let me just say a word for disaggregation of data for Asian Pacific Islanders. At the beginning of the pandemic, AAPIs were lumped into the other category on the CDC website, and that prevented us from knowing very crucial information. So I just urge you to continue to disaggregate data.
I thank the gentlelady. Let me recognize the gentleman from Nebraska, Mr. Smith, to